Hi, hello guys. Welcome again to web development for kids and teens. Hope you guys enjoyed the first video. Please, if you are new here, please you need to watch the first video to understand the introduction, the background of what we are doing, and other tutorials that we have in future. All right, so let's start from where we left last week. So I give you guys a coding exercise, right? So hopefully you guys were able to fix the bug in this code, right? If not, yeah, it might take time for you, but you definitely know how to fix bugs in code. But this should be pretty easy. So I will go through the solution for this bug. All right, so this is the code, like quiz one with the bugs, right? So you remember I told you that if you want to open a tag, you don't pull this, right? This is just how to open a tag, right? So you open a tag, right? Then you close it. Then for our title, we opened it and we close it. That looks good. For our head, we open it and we close it. There, see that our title is inside the head, right? So don't forget that. Then our body, we have our body right here. So every other thing that we have in our website, we have to be in our body, right? So we have our H1, which I will teach you more about today. Open and close, which is good. But our body, see, our body is missing this guy right here. See? Then our HTML is missing this. So you see, so you fixed the bug already, right? So you need to learn how to fix bugs, right? It is very important. So what we have today, so first I want to teach you guys what web browsers. I mean, you guys probably know web browser, like it's like Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, everything. So web browser is just an application that you use to access your website. It displays your personal page. So the HTML file that we created last week, yeah, even this one, right, that we have right here, we use HTML, like we use our web browser to display it. So this is a web browser which is Google Chrome, right? So we always use web browser to display our web page, right? So don't forget that web browsers are used to display our web page, just the same way that you have your mobile phone, to play all your games, right? So your mobile phone is where your games run, right? For our website, we need a web browser for our web page to be displayed. And I have here for you guys, these are examples of web browser that we have, right? The most common one is Chrome. Then if you are using a Mac, you probably see Safari. We have Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera. This one is old. This one is for old guys like me, like myself. Then we have Microsoft Edge, right? So don't forget, web browsers are used to display your web page, which is your code, right? So now I want to teach you guys. So remember that we wrote our HTML code, right? But there are versions of HTML, right? There are different versions of HTML, like just the same way that we have different versions of video games, different versions of cars, right? So HTML also have different versions. So I want to show you guys what versions we have and which version I am teaching you guys, alright? So the first version of HTML is HTML1, right? Is one that the the people in the early days of computer used for developing website. Then we have HTML2, right? So keep counting. Then after HTML2, then they introduced HTML3, then HTML4. So the latest one is HTML5, and HTML5 is kind of the latest technology that is being used, to like to design uh website, right? To write HTML code, right? And only cool engineers, right? Only cool web developers use HTML5, right? The other HTML, like, just common people use them, but cool software developers use HTML5, right? So I'm so sure that you are wondering, oh, what are we using? Are we using HTML4 or HTML3, or are we using HTML5, which will make us cool web developers? Um, can you can you guess? Yes, you are right. Because we are cool, we are learning HTML5. So the HTML that we are learning is gonna be HTML5, right? I will teach you guys HTML5. So everything that we are learning in this class is going to be based on HTML5, which is the latest technology, which is what everyone is using. Okay, so that is good. So now that we are cool web developers, right? How do we tell web browser that we are cool web developer? Like, meaning that when you are writing on your code, like, you need to tell your web browser the version of HTML that you are using, either HTML1, HTML2, or 3, or 4, or 5, right? So now, how do we tell our web browser that, oh, we are cool web developers, we only use HTML5, we don't use HTML1, 2, or 3, or 4, right? So how do we do that? So for you to do that, all you have to do is type this. So in all your HTML files, right, the first thing that you want to type is this. So let me see if I can point. Right, so the first thing that you want to type is this right here. So at the top of your HTML file, always, before you even write HTML, right, so this is what you need to type. So, and I will show you. So that means here, for example, in our example here, so we need to write, so it's called doc type. It's like saying document type, right? So you are saying the document type is, so like this probably just mean HTML5. Okay, so when you put this line of code in your HTML file, right, you are telling the web browser that, oh yeah, I'm using HTML5, I'm a cool web developer, right? So don't forget, like, always put this before you start writing your HTML code, right? Okay, so now that we put in there, now we are cool web developers. Okay, so don't forget, all the time, put this at the beginning of your code. Okay, cool. So now the next thing that I want to teach you guys is how to add comments to your code. If you remember, I told you that, the language that we humans use, like, we have different languages like English, Yoruba, Spanish, French, right? So but the language that we use for developing websites is just English, right? So but sorry, it's HTML, right? So but it is also possible to put English in your code, right? Like, if you want to put or write something that you don't want to forget, right? Maybe like you need like a cheat sheet, or maybe something that you don't want to forget, right? You can write it as a comment, and you can use any language. I will show you guys, how to do that. So you see, you can use a comment tag to add comment to your code, right? Comment helps you to write English words in your code. You can English, Spanish, or anything, right? It helps you to remember what your code is about. And yeah, cool web developers use comment a lot. Okay, so let me show you examples. So so for example, if you want to just put comment here and say, oh yeah, this is where ed normally starts, right? So you just put that exclamation mark, then 2 dashes like that, then you can put your comment right, that, oh yeah, you can say header starts here, right? So you see, this is English, right? So this will not be displayed on your web page, but it's just for you to know. So when you come to this code later, you will know that, oh yeah, this is the comment that I have here. So then you can even you can add comment anywhere, right? You can hide it. Oh, this is where my title starts, right? Oh, I don't know how to spell. This is where my title starts, right? And don't forget, anytime you update your web content, always click on file and save. Okay, so yeah, you can write, the comment on every, well, not every, but like in places that you might like forget some information, right? So always put comment in there, like this one. You can say that all web content goes into the body tag, right? So this, I just comment, it's just for you, so that when you come to this code, maybe like a month later, right, you'll still be able to understand what this is about. Okay, so that's what comments are, right? So yeah, how do you add comment, right? So you add comment by doing this. Okay, if you don't understand, just pause a little bit. You can pause the video, then try to look at this. Okay, you will get it. So now the interesting thing, so you remember that we use this h1, right? But I didn't explain it to you guys, this h1. So now I want to explain what heading HTML heading tag is, right? So heading tag is used for adding headings to your web page, and we have 6 headers of different sizes, right? HTML headers tag, right? So for me to explain what headings are for you, so look at this book, this Roblox book, right? You see, we have different, they put pictures, the name and all of that, you see, but at the top they put heading here. So heading is like the title of the book, right? So when you have different sections in your website, so like the title of each section is what your header is, right? So this is an example of what it is. So we are going to have headers in your personal website, right? So we have 6 different headers, and those 6 have different font sizes, right? As you can see here. So then to define these headers in your code, there are different ways of doing that. So for header 1, you see, you do h1, which is what we've been doing here, right? So for header 2, you do h2. For header 3, you do header 3, h3 right here, and this one h4 and h6. So let's just go through example of how to do this. So now let's create a new file. Let's call, so if you want to create file, you are in your project, right? Then you just create file. So let's create a file, say header.html, right? So let's just use this header. So you see, the first thing that you want to put there is this, to tell HTML that, oh yeah, this is HTML5. Then we have our HTML, we open, then we close. Then we have our head, right? We open and we close, and inside our head we have our title right here. Let's just say header test. Okay, cool. So now then our body is going to be outside of that, right? If you remember, so our body is going to be this. Then inside our body, let's just try this. Let's have h1. Okay, so this is h1, right? Then h2, this is h2. So you can pause the video if you think I'm going fast. Okay, this is h3. I just want to show you guys how it's gonna show up. This is h4. You know what, I'm gonna copy some of these and I will just change it. So this is h5 and this is h6. We don't need this. So again, you come file, then you save it. All right, so now let's now go to where our project is, our HTML file. So mine is right in here, you see. And I come here, you see this is our h1. See how big h1 is, h2, h3, h4, h5. So when you write your code, you should be able to see this. So yeah, you should be able to see this result. If you're not able to see this result, pause the video and try to do this, right? So in our website, we might want to have a very small header. We can use that. We might want to have big header. We can use that. Then this is supposed to be h6. Okay, then you save and I can refresh. See, h6. Okay, so that's what headers are for. So we are going to be using more like header more. Okay, so another thing that I want to teach you guys today is paragraph, right? So we have header in HTML. We also have a paragraph like in HTML, right? Just like the same way that you have paragraph while writing your like text, you know, like while writing your homework or assignment, right? I mean, I was going to ask you guys, do you know what a paragraph is? Right? So and I have a little picture right here for you guys. You see, when you are reading something, like the group, like each sentences, you know, that shares a common idea is called paragraph, right? So this is paragraph, this is paragraph, this is paragraph. So just imagine that we want to write this thing in our website, right? So this one is going to be a paragraph, this one is going to be a paragraph, this one is going to be a paragraph, and each one of these is going to be a paragraph. You can't just write everything in one line. It won't make sense, right? So you have to put all your content in paragraph, right? So if you have a web page that is talking about yourself, you know, that there's a paragraph that will talk about your like talk about your experience, right? There should be a paragraph that talks about your school. There should be a paragraph that talks about your family. There should be a paragraph that talks about your favorite video games and all of that, right? So don't forget that. So now, how do we write paragraph in HTML? Because HTML is not English, right? So how do you do that, right? That's a very good question, right? It is very simple. You add paragraph by just putting a p tag. You see, just the same way that we have our h1 that we open then we close, right? Our paragraph is, you can open the paragraph and you can close the paragraph, which is very very easy, right? So I can show you example. So let's have paragraph.html. Okay, so because I'm lazy, I'm going to copy some of this in here, then I will delete this, so then I can say this is paragraph test. Then to do a paragraph, just do this, boom, you have a paragraph. So I say this is a paragraph about myself. So now let's now go to our file. So this is a paragraph. See, this is a paragraph about myself, right? So now we know how to write header and we know how to write a paragraph. So let's now put everything together, because when you have header, then you have, see, this an header right here, then you have a paragraph. That's the point. You have paragraph, like you have header, then you have paragraph. So let's create another one. You can call it any name, but I'm going to call it header underscore paragraph, okay, dot html. All right, again, because of time, I'll just copy this, right, and paste this. So now, so let's say this is about myself, right? So now for one header, I just want to talk about uh I can say this one, welcome to my, I can even put my name. You can put your name in the website, right? Then because each one is big, right, then I want something that is smaller, right, to be another header right here. So I can say my nickname. Then under the nickname, I can put a paragraph, right? Yeah, my nickname is AY. So you can put your nickname here. So I'm done with that. Then I need something else about myself. My favorite color. So that's an header for me. Then I can put the answer in a paragraph. My favorite color is blue, right? Then again, let me put one more thing about myself, right? Uh, Fun fact about me. That's an header. Then I can put the stuff. So, fun fact about me, I love teaching kids a lot. Okay, see, so now we have, so header one is more like this big guy right there, then header two is something small, like for maybe like something like this, right? Then we have the paragraph. So let's see how this look, right? So this is a paragraph. See, welcome to this website, my nickname. Then we have a paragraph, right? I mean, you can write a lot of stuff about yourself in a long one, but because I don't have time, then your favorite color, you can write your favorite color in here, and why you like your favorite color and all of that, right? You can put all of that in here, and you can say, oh yeah, fun fact about you too. You can write it there. All right. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. Don't forget, I taught you guys about adding comment, adding headers, and adding paragraph, right? So I think that's is enough for you guys to work on for a week, right? So the coding exercise that I have for you guys for next week, right, is this, right? You see, I've written like 3 things about myself, right? You guys can copy the same thing, but now I want you to write heading and paragraphs about your favorite games, heading and paragraphs about your family, and heading and paragraph about your friends, right? It's probably just gonna be H2 paragraph, H2 paragraph, right? It should be very easy, right? So that's what I want you guys to work on for the week. It's pretty easy, but yeah, you should have fun doing that. So when you are done doing it, your result should look something like this. See, my nickname, the same one, my favorite color, fun fact about me. My favorite game is Mortal Kombat. I like it because I beat Raphael and he cried. Yes, he cried. Then my family. So you can write a lot of stuff in here, right? You can take your time to write a lot. I mean, it can fill this page, right? But because I don't have time, so Yeah, I think that you guys will have fun doing it, right? So yeah, so I think that's the end of what I have. If you have comment or question, we can put it in the comment. Uh, right, and if you have a question about all of this, you can put it in the comment too. And if you're able to do this and you want to put it in the chat too, you can put your answer in the chat, and I will let you know if the answer is correct or not, right? But if you want to wait till next week for me to look at it, it is also good. All right. So I hope you guys have fun. Don't forget to subscribe and to click on the bell notification. I'm going to upload another video next week, and don't forget also that Python programming is also coming, and robotics using Arduino is also coming. So you guys should subscribe. That's okay. All right. See you guys next week. Bye.